liebe GamersGlobal-Leser, nachdem der Christoph und ich jetzt schon fleißig Ryse auf der Xbox One gespielt haben, stehen wir jetzt hier mit PJ von Crytek, den wir ein bisschen zum Spiel befragen wollen. Und, well, PJ, probably we'll first talk about the setting of the game.
Yes.
Why do you decide to go to the ancient Rome? And not, well, an action game, first person, where you have to shoot aliens with futuristic guns.
Well, I mean, I think that's the point. I think Crytek's made a lot of those games already. You know, we did Crysis 2, which I worked on. We did New York, and then Crysis 3. We did New York, like in the future, you know, after all the alien stuff. So it's like, okay, well, let's do something different. Let's show that Crytek is more than just a first-person shooter company that only does, you know, realistic, modern, like sci-fi kind of stuff. So we said, okay, we'll do ancient Rome. And we'll just show, like, you know, how we could bring to life this kind of, you know, vision of what ancient Rome was like. And of course, that in the CryEngine, you know, it's going to look beautiful, and people are going to be, you know, pulled into the experience. But, you know, very much one of the new things we're also doing is we're trying to do a lot more facial performance capture and pull more emotion from characters. And we think, like, next gen, this is where the kind of the next battleground is going to be. So.
But well, what do you think? It's more for the core gamers, or it's also for casuals too?
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing, is the difference between our easiest mode and then our most difficult mode on the first playthrough, which you played, which is Centurion. You know, it's pretty immense. Like, so if you wanna come home from work, drink a beer, and just kind of enjoy the setting and play through and enjoy the story, definitely the easy mode is for you. Like, normal is, you know, what we found through balancing is kind of what most people are. But if you really like combat games and you want the true combat experience, you definitely should play it on Centurion. And after you beat the game in Centurion, you unlock Legendary, which is even hard for me, and I played the game like 100 times. So I mean, there is a lot of difficulty, and like you said though, you know, you really have to engage in the combat system. It's very unforgiving, especially in Centurion. So yeah, and for the playtest right now, because we've unlocked profiles, you know, the game is a little bit easier in normal than it would be if you, like, you know, started the game brand new. Because usually when people come to these demos, there maybe, I would say, 30% of their stuff is unlocked, and in like a normal playthrough, it usually takes the full game length to unlock 80% of the stuff. So it's a bit easier in the demo than it is in probably review copies that people are going to play on day one.
There is a possibility to use real money for unlocking things.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's real money to unlock, just to kind of help you progress, but you can't buy things unless you've unlocked the rank. So it's a lot the same as our Gladiator mode. You can't pay to win in this single player. It actually wouldn't help you out. Like, so you still have to still have to play the game, gain XP. But like for me, like, let's say, you know, I'm rank 5, right? And I just don't have enough gold, and I'm playing through on the casual mode, the easy. Sure, I mean, if I want to buy some gold and unlock executions, why not? But the important thing is actually that executions are shared between Gladiator mode and single player. So it works the same way. If you're playing in the Gladiator mode, which is our multiplayer, it's the same thing. You still need to kind of unlock ranks to unlock stuff to buy with real money. So yeah, I mean, it kind of works the same.
Yes, but you want to earn money with this function, otherwise it wouldn't be there, or am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely correct, right? I mean, it's the same stuff that we talked about in our Gladiator mode, where once you unlock the rank, you can win. But I mean, as we're doing other kind of free-to-play games as well within Crytek, such as Warface and stuff, yep. And we have a very clear directive from Chavat, like, you know, there is no pay-to-win in Crytek games. So whether it's, you know, Warface or it's going to be Ryse, it just kind of helps you a little bit, but it's not going to make you the master of the game. You still have to play the game.
Well, the game looks amazing, but the game just runs on 900p.
Yes, yeah.
And it's not a full 1080p.
Yeah.
So why is that so? Is it because the game originally was developed for Xbox 360, or is it because the Xbox One hasn't that hardware power we all hoped that it has?
Well, I mean, we're a first-generation game on the Xbox One, so I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, in future versions we'll be running at 1080. But I mean, we're 900p, but we upscale in software. So when the game actually runs on the Xbox, it runs native 1080. But I mean, at the end of the day, what it's really about is we wanted to show the artwork we wanted to make, you know, and 900 was the best resolution for us in, like, you know, defining our vision of Rome. And you know, Crytek, I mean, if it's a high-end PC or an iPad or an Xbox One or even like a PS4, you know, whatever, we're always going to push the limits, and we always make decisions, you know, to like offer the best graphical fidelity. And there are things that we're doing on the Xbox One version, like with, you know, our new kind of like shader stuff and the fact that we're doing so much facial and cloth simulation that we don't even do on PC yet. So I mean, I think it's just a trade-off. It just depends on like what you do as a developer with the tools that you're given, but everything has restrictions. So I mean, yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. Wouldn't it be the better decision to go to 1080p and cut out some of the effect stuff? Well, it's a platform exclusive title, and well, everyone expected that the next gen is going to be with 1080p natively for standard.
Well, I mean, we can run the game at 1080 at 30 frames, and we actually did. We had a build running at 1080, but we made the artistic decision to go to 900 so we could do the exact opposite, so we could push more effects, push more guys on screen. Because I mean, if we would have said, okay, let's do 1080 30 frames, then we would have had to say, okay, well, then we're going to make the battles feel less grand, because it's just there's obvious technical limitations no matter what hardware you're developing on. So we said, all right, well, we're going to make the decision to go 900p because we see diminishing returns to do 1080. So if you go 900, we looked at all the stuff we got from doing 900 versus 1080 and all the stuff that we didn't have. And it was an easy decision, you know, to say, well, you want to do an epic battlefield like you saw in the first mission, and, you know, like we made that choice. But the thing that I just wanted to communicate again is that, you know, we've kind of been misquoted in the past saying, like, you know, next gen, it really isn't just about resolution. It's about a lot more than that, right? So the one thing that you're seeing with Ryse is that, I mean, artistically, there is no low-res things in the game anymore, right? We're pushing more facial on characters and AI in the game than we've ever pushed in any other Crytek title. We have cloth simulation on all of our AI. We've got, you know, kind of like all the dangling, like physicalized objects. And that was like far more important to do this kind of, for the world to feel more next gen than to just like, you know, have 1080, like, you know, or 180 more pixels, right? So we made that conscious choice. And I think Chavat's released like a technical breakdown on why 900 over 1080. And he's even said on PS4 we'd probably make the same decision just because we're always going to push the graphical fidelity. So, you know, it's kind of apples and oranges, right? So
you're working on Homefront 2.
Yes, yeah.
So that's going to be a multi-platform game.
Yes, yeah.
And that will be the same resolution and the same effects. Can you say something about that on both platforms, on PS4 and Xbox One?
I don't know enough about Homefront 2 from the Nottingham studio, what they're kind of doing, but I'm pretty sure they'll have their own kind of battles, like the difference between PC and, you know, PlayStation 4, because everyone's talking about, oh, PS4 versus Xbox One, but, you know, we come from a PC developer background, so, you know, a 4,000 you know Euro PC is going to run Homefront 2 far better than any, you know, console. But, you know, that's just how it is, right? It's like, you know, the most high-end graphics card you can buy. But the point is that for the price of an Xbox One, like right now at Crytek, like Ryse is the best looking thing. And if Ryse were running on a PC, it would probably look almost one-to-one as far as the art and the kind of stuff we're trying to push. So, I mean, yeah.
Ryse has originally planned for Xbox 360 as a Kinect title.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And, well, why didn't you say, well, now we're on Xbox One, but we are still in a Kinect title, so we played it just with the controller,
yeah, and
it works fine.
Well, I mean, part of the stuff that we needed to make a decision on is what we actually really wanted to do as a game, you know. And I always tell the story that we had 3 demos: Kinect only, Kinect plus controller, and then third-person kind of like camera with the controller. And what we decided, like as a team, is that, well, we want to make a third-person action game because, like you said, it's something Crytek has never done before. Even if it was a Kinect title, it still would have been first-person, you know. And so it's a lot of it was about challenging ourselves and showing that Crytek can do another dynamic. And the other thing was, you know, trying to expand into doing a different, like a completely different type of game, you know. So when we said, okay, third-person action adventure, we knew that it's not for free, right? Nothing's for free. We had to learn how to do a third-person camera. We had to, you know, like put in a better facial animation system. So I mean, there was a lot of things that went along with that. And the thing that I always tell people is, it's not about the changing from Kinect to Xbox One or whatever. It's like, what did we keep, you know? So when it was a Kinect game, we still had the up-close brutality. And if you remember the video that we showed when it was codenamed Kingdoms, you know, you're fighting this one guy, you could see this relationship, you threw the sword, you did a headbutt. That's still there, right? That's still part of the heartbeat of the game when you see the executions. Cinematic camera, facial performance, brutal combat. And so when we said, okay, let's do third person, we said, well, why don't we challenge ourselves? We can still do that, but how do we do it and kind of show a new dynamic that Crytek hasn't shown before? And that, I mean, that was the honest to goodness reason why we did it. And I think, you know, we're here at day one, and it's like, wow, Crytek's done something different. Awesome, you know, so, yeah.
Well, the thing with the aliens, that's maybe something for Homefront 2 then.
Yeah, no.
Well, then thank you very much.
Yep, thank you.
And we're looking forward to Xbox One and Ryse.
Awesome, yeah. Cool, thanks.
You.